Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to FLYFAM TV and our live streaming broadcast of Dixie High Flyers boys basketball. It's game number 3 this Saturday afternoon of the Coach Walker Classic, the annual tournament hosted by Pineview High School in honor of head coach Darren Walker, who passed away a number of years ago due to health complications. And this is the 11th year of the tournament. Each year they do it in his honor and name to play some basketball, but also to raise some funds for charity. Today's game is pitting the undefeated Dixie Flyers, standing at 5-0 against the Bountiful Redhawks, coming from Northern Utah, 5A team. They are currently 1-1 in this tournament. They won their first game against Crimson in a blowout fashion. That score was 74-63, and honestly, that score is probably a little closer than it ever was in the contest. However, they did not win their second game, losing to Riverton last night, 70-60, and there was a little bit of, I don't want to say controversy to that game, but there was a mix-up, to say the least, as Bountiful was the designated visiting team and showed up in their home white jerseys. Riverton was the designated home team, also showing up in their white jerseys. And long story short, Bountiful was assessed some technicals because they didn't have the right jerseys. They couldn't manage some different things until it was after game time to start. And so there's a little bit of confusion there, but the game got underway and Bountiful came up short, 70-60, losing to Riverton. So they're looking to bounce back against the Dixie Flyers. This Dixie team, 5-0 on the season and 2-0 in this Walker Classic, winning their first game against Wasatch, and then winning again yesterday, earlier at the afternoon, against Maple Mountain. So we are set to jump it up here. And starters for Dixie, you start with Kimball Carter, the point guard, Zed Weber, shooting guard, Colin Simmons, small forward, J.J. Davey, the power forward, and Tyler Walter in the middle. Shooting guard Tyson Forsey has been out the last couple of games with an ankle sprain. He is dressed to play, but I'm not sure if he's going to. So we'll see how it plays out. For the Bountiful Redhawks, let's see their starters. Number 1, Bryson Heath. Number 5, Davey Howe. Number 11, Cole Hewlett. Number 32, Charles Smith. And number 31, Lincoln Smith. So shot no good for the Flyers. As a drive in for the layup, that's good by Bryson Heath. This Bountiful team losing a number of starters from last year, and a very good team last year, made it all the way to the Final Four of the 5A state tournament where they lost. And head coach Gus Sopena was in his second year right now. The head coach at Bountiful, replacing longtime coach Maxwell, who was at Bountiful for a long time. A turnover there and a steal taken away by the Redhawks. All the way down, back and forth, wonderful, beautiful play there between Heath and Howe. And a 4-0 lead here early for the Redhawks. Underneath, Walter up, count it, he's fouled, Tyler Walter. So Walter will go to the line. Looking for the opportunity to shoot. Go for the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Colin Simmons will check out for the Flyers, and Ammon Ashton, the junior for junior there. And Walter converts. Quickly up the floor. Bountiful wants to push the pace. Both these teams want to run and score early in the shot clock as a long three, no good. Rebound fought for, come away by the Redhawks. And they clear and set up their half-court offense. The Flyers, with the size or the height and size advantage, again, this Bountiful team wants to play up-tempo and very quickly. Nice feed underneath. That's good for 2 as Davey Howe with a couple of buckets for the Redhawks. Ashton clears it to Walter, now to Carter. The Flyers work it around the perimeter. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Weber trying to find his way into the interior of that defense. Now hands to Walter, wasn't ready for it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Kimball, Carter underneath to Davey, who had a layup blocked, but he's fouled. Davey will go to the line shooting 2. So a little bit of a bailout there as the Flyers weren't quite in sync on that offensive set, but Davey with an opportunity to go to the free throw line shooting 2. And Davey no good on the first. That makes the second. And here come the Red Hawks. Heath. It's over to Smith. Over to Howe for pump fakes a 3, drives, clears out, corner 3, no good, rebound to Walter, and clears to Carter. Here come the Flyers, quickly all the way down to Ammon Ashton, who's wide open underneath the basket. Easiest layup he'll probably have all day is caught the Red Hawks dozing. A tie score, all knotted up at 6 apiece. Heath clears over to Smith. Smith looking to take advantage of the mismatch. There's Charlie Smith now clears for the deep 3. That's in and out. Rebound fought for. Brought down by the Red Hawks. Blocked away by Walter and Davey. And Carter has it. Weber thought about the 3 and clears back up to Carter. As Coach Roberts, head coach of the Flyers, shouting instructions. So quickly to Weber. Tried to whip the ball underneath to Walter, and Walter just dropped it right out of bounds. Turnover by the Flyers. So Lincoln Smith only walking the ball up the court. Clears over to Howe. Howe drives. He's cut off by Weber. Now over to Charlie Smith for the 3. Hard off the backboard. Long rebound. Chased down by Howe. Good hustle by the Bountiful Redhawks. Underneath, streaking all the way in for a layup, Lincoln Smith. Nice find there as Bountiful retakes the lead, 8-6. Underneath the Davey, lob underneath the Walter. Walter tried to go up, ball's knocked away and taken away. Here comes Howe. Clears to Heath, deep 3 over Walter, no good. Rebound, Davey. Again, this Bountiful team wants to get up and down the court and shoot early and often. And that's what they've done. Already taking 4 threes, have yet to make one. The Flyers trying to work the ball inside, clears over to Ashton, now tries to go over to Davey. Davey saves it to Walter. Walter up, found it, count it! Tyler Walter able to make the layup with the contact, and he'll go to the line shooting 1. Substitution for Bountiful. As number 4 for Bountiful checks in. I do not have that name on the roster, so he will just be number 4. I apologize. For the Flyers, Colin Simmons checking in for Tyler Walter. Walter with 6 points. Flyers here early with a 1-point lead. Heath hands to Howe. Back to Smith. Little weave action for the Red Hawks. Ball's knocked away, but picked up by the Red Hawks. And number 4 able to grab the ball and put it up, and he's fouled. That foul goes to Zed Weber of the Flyers, his first team foul. And the first free throw good. And again, I'm I don't have a name on the roster for number 4, so I'm kind of waiting for the PA, but I can see the PA. I don't think they have his name either because they haven't announced who's shooting 2. So that happens sometimes. But he goes 2 for 2. Interesting tradition as the entire Red Hawk team crosses their legs during a free throw. Interesting. He goes 2 for 2, and Bountiful retakes the lead by 1. Davey clears to Simmons. Out of Carter. Carter tried to drive, but a whistle and a foul. This is going to go against Davey Howe, Bountiful. 14 foul for the Red Hawks, and that's going to be Howe's second foul, so he'll probably have a seat on the bench as Wyatt Crane, a junior, will check in for him as Coach Cepena of the Red Hawks doesn't want to mess around with that. One of his starters with a couple quick fouls here in the first quarter. Quick inbounds from Carter to Simmons. Now tries to go back to Simmons. And a whistle and an offensive foul. Okay, it's tough for me to disagree with officials. I am way up here, they are there, but he blew the whistle as Simmons was in the air. That's a tough call. Coach Roberts not happy at all, and it's an interesting call. But again, whistle and an offensive foul off ball, so maybe a makeup call there. Because that, again, I don't want to question the official. He's there, I'm up here. It just appeared a little odd. But we play on. So Flyers with possession. Carter to Davey. We're going to get the ball to Simmons. Now clears back to Carter. Carter's going to drive all the way underneath. Bounce pass to Simmons. Simmons up and in. Carter to Simmons. And Colin Simmons, the lanky 6'6 junior, had a couple highlight dunks this tournament. As the ball tries to go underneath. Ball knocked away and almost taken away. Now cleared to the corner. A good extra pass by the Red Hawks. Long three. That's good. And that's their first 3 of the game. And a whistle. And Kimball Carter is on the floor. And is kind of against the wall and limping. And that's not a good sign. As Tyler Walter checks in for him, and Zed Weber will take care of the point guard duties, at least for the time being. So right now you've got Carter. It looks like he's walking it off. Hopefully just a little bit of a tweak, but between him and Tyson Forsey, who is sitting out, I was told prior to the game he might go. So I'm thinking it's probably like more of if it's a needed circumstance. Is an ill-advised pass by Simmons, easily knocked away and taken away by Bountiful. Quickly up the floor. Long three, no good. Rebound, sky high, Tyler Walter. And Coach Roberts signals the Flyers to slow down. They trail 13-11. Weber, here's to Ashton. Ashton, bounce pass underneath to Davey. Davey goes, spins, blocked away. Last touch by the Red Hawks. As Ashton threaded the needle on the pass, and Davey able to get it up, but it was blocked away. So Flyer basketball, 16 seconds, as Asaki Willis for the Red Hawks checks in, replacing Charles Smith. Weber, the trigger man, into Walter. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Simmons with the 3. No good. Rebound to the Red Hawks. And Lincoln Smith obs over the top, all the way down. Easy layup for Bryson Heath. Beautiful play. And the largest lead of the game for the Red Hawks, 15-11. And the Flyers looking to get the ball inside, and Bountiful appears like they're in a 2-3 zone, or at least a matchup zone. Yeah, 2-3 zone. Flyers, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lobs underneath to Davey. Whistle and a foul before the shot as Davey was undercut by the defense. So that will reset the shot clock, and the Flyers will have the ball inbound on the baseline side. Oh, correction, that is the 5th team foul. So J.J. Davey will go to the line shooting 2. So again, if you're not familiar with this, last year the new rule change, 5 team fouls in a quarter result in 2 free throws for the opposite team. And then it resets each quarter. So for ever as Davey makes the first. It was 7 fouls, and then it was 1-1, and it was by also by the quarter. But now this one kind of realigns a little bit, makes the game a lot more. In my opinion, it eliminates the 1-1, which kind of eliminates the drama, but the game flow is a little bit better. Last year it was very well received, and again, it's a national high school rule, so Davey comes away making both. As push shot up too hard, and Walter with the rebound as number 4 misses. Again, we don't have number 4's name. So under 30 seconds to play. No shot clock for the Flyers as Bountiful trying to press, and it works as the ball again goes through the hands of Colin Simmons. So another unforced turnover on the part of the Flyers. So Bountiful with the opportunity to score on their final possession and then also start the second quarter with possession as the Flyers won the jump ball. 10 seconds left. Smith over to Heath. Heath drives baseline underneath, almost knocked away, but number 4 gets it up and in. Strong play there by Bountiful, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter as the Redhawks lead 17-13. And we'll take a break here and start back with the second quarter on FLYFAM TV. Back after this. And welcome back to our live streaming broadcast here on FLYFAM TV. I'm Ryan Forsey. We're about to start the second quarter of play, game number 3 of the Coach Walker Classic here at Pineview High School. The annual tournament hosted by Pineview. They do a great job in honor of Coach Walker. It works coordinating as a fundraiser as well for the Coach Walker Foundation and their charity. And coming in the second quarter is going to be Bountiful basketball. The Flyers struggling a little bit, but keeping things close. As Kimball Carter returns to the lineup, he was shooken up a little bit about halfway through the first quarter. And the Flyers showing a little bit of his own defense. And Bountiful trying to get it inside, and they do to number 4. Again, we do not have his name. 4 muscles it up, blocked away, and Colin Simmons with the rebound. Clears to Carter, quickly up the floor to Weber. Now back to Carter, and the Flyers reset into the half court as Bountiful also dropping back into his own defense. No, correct that. A man defense as Davey airmailed a pass past Tyler Walter, intercepted by Bountiful. Here come the Redhawks. Heath blocked away for the 3. Simmons comes down with it all the way to Kimball Carter for the easy scoop and score. A defensive play there by Simmons. Underneath now again to Heath. Smith shoots 3, long, hard off the iron. Long rebound, back to Bountiful, now to the corner. This time it's Heath in the corner. No good. Rebound to Carter. Up the floor to Weber. Weber into the paint. Little 10-foot jump shot. Too hard. Rebound tipped out. Saved by Carter over the outstretched arms of Walter. Quickly up the floor to Heath for the easy layup. Just unfortunate bounce of ball there, and Bountiful with a timeout on the floor. And we'll see if it's a full or a 30. If it's a 30, we'll keep it here. It is a full, so we'll take the timeout as well. Back after this from Pineview High School on the Coach Walker Classic.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
Nobody likes to be stopped by the police. But if I'd seen her texting while driving and given her a ticket, it just might have saved her life.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
And welcome back to Pineview High School 2024 Coach Walker Classic. Thanks so much for joining us here on FLYFAM.tv. I'm Ryan Forsey. Our live streaming broadcast, game number 3 of the tournament for the Dixie Flyers as they're taking on the Bountiful Redhawks. The Redhawks, the designated guest, they're leading 19-15 over the Flyers. And if you're going to talk about, coming up a little bit on halfway as we see some early pressure and almost taken away by the Redhawks, and it might be taken away in a backcourt violation. The Flyers not ready for that. As I was saying, the story here early on is the Flyers' turnovers and the Bountiful Redhawks' inability to hit threes. They're probably 1 for 10 from 3. And again, that's their style of play. They want to get up and down the floor quickly and shoot early in that shot clock. And if it's a 3 or a transition, whatever it is, that's how they want to attack and play. So the Flyers in a zone defense, getting inside the perimeter and off the glass. Nicely done by Wyatt Crane. Good patience there by Bountiful. And the largest lead of the game, 21-15. Davey to Walter. Dixie a little out of sorts offensively. Still trying to execute here. Simmons, bounce pass underneath to Davey. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Davey with the pump fake. Tries to muscle it up. A little too hard. Rebound tapped around. Walter saves it. Clears to Weber. Good hustle play by Walter and Carter into Davey. The Flyers reset. And offensive foul on the screen. That's going to be called against J.J. Davey. His first and the first team foul of the second quarter. So Davey just didn't hold it quite long enough, and the official there to call the illegal screen. So again, another turnover on the part of the Flyers. Crane with the ball, clears to Willis. Willis into the paint, ball's knocked away, clears. Again, back to Willis into the paint. He's picked up, loses the ball quickly underneath to Crane. A nice little pocket pass as Crane able to put up the reverse layup with the left hand. And again, Bountiful extending the lead, 23-15. Dixie looking for an answer here as they have yet to score in this second quarter of play. Weber diving into the baseline, and an offensive foul called as Crane had perfect defensive position, and Weber called for the offensive foul. So again, that's four or five possessions, 4 or 5 straight turnovers on the part of the Flyers. Just unable to get in sync offensively here against the aggressive and physical defense of the Redhawks. Heath controlling the ball and the tempo to number 4. We don't have his name as he drives. Pump fakes over Walter. Whistle, foul. Count it! And number 4... I apologize. We don't have his name. He's not on the roster. And I'm trying to pick up the name from the PA announcer, but he come in off the bench, replacing Davey Howe, who picked up a couple of quick fouls, and he's having a game as he completes a 3-point play and a 10-point lead here. 11-point play early on for the Redhawks. And the Flyers, again, have yet to score in this second quarter. Lob underneath to Davey. Ball's tipped away into Ashton. Ashton just kind of throws it up and is fortunate to get a whistle blown and called, and that's going to be a foul against Bryson Heath. That's going to be his first team foul against Bountiful. So Ammon Ashton shooting 2. So an opportunity here to get the lid off the basket for the Flyers. They trail 26-15. And Ashton no good on the free throw. And Ashton misses both. Short on the first one, a little hard on the second one. And quickly, Crane. The Flyers dropping a new man-to-man defense. As Hewlett over to Heath. Back to Hewlett, picked up by Walter. Now to Smith. Smith, no hesitation. Long three, hard off the rim. And Walter comes down with the rebound, and the Flyers will walk it up the court. And Carter doesn't quite have the explosiveness. He's kind of come up a little lame a couple of times on some contact, but he's still playing through it. The other injury, significant injury for the Flyers, is Tyson Forsey, the starting shooting guard for the Flyers, has been out with a high ankle sprain. As Weber driving, trying to create something, and a whistle and a jump ball called, and that's going to be Flyer possession with 10 seconds on the shot clock. As Dixie's trying to get something, anything going offensively, and Weber unable to create enough space. So substitution for Weber as he comes out. Elijah Christian checking in for Weber. So Carter will inbound the ball for the Flyers. 10 seconds on the shot clock. As the Flyers scissor off and inbounds to Christian. To Ashton. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Carter, step back. Long three, no good. Rebound to the Hawks. Excellent box out job. Quickly up to Crane. Got away with a little shove, but makes the layup nonetheless. And Bountiful again, just relentless on defense, and it is turning into easy offense as a lob over the top to Walter. Again, knocked away and taken away. And the Flyers just cannot recover from these turnovers as Heath, the three, no good. Rebound fought for. Smith, up, no good. Offensive rebound blocked by J.J. Davey. Christian comes down with it. Here come the Flyers. As Christian picks up the dribble and tries to clear, and it's knocked away and taken away. Long down the court to Howe. Easy up and in for two. And Coach Roberts wants a timeout. And he'll get it. And I believe that's going to be a full timeout as well. It is a full timeout. We'll take the timeout right here and be back after this 60-second break on FLYFAM TV.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City. 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org. Region 10 Sports.
And welcome back to the Coach Walker Classic on FLYFAM TV. Day 3, game number 3 for the Dixie Flyers as they find themselves in a hole in the first half of play, trailing the Bountiful Redhawks 30-15. And then this Bountiful team, tenacious, physical, relentless. The day after, in their minds, a disappointing loss to a Riverton team last night, losing 60-70, and they've come out with some purpose and urgency. And on the part of the Flyers, it's really kind of knocked them back. And Dixie just has not had anything going this second quarter. But the only thing they've had going for them is turnover after turnover. So, again, after the timeout, we'll see what the Flyers have up their sleeves so they can execute and get the lid off the basket. Walter, high post, clears to Christian. Christian, long three, no good, air balls. Davey able to get the offensive rebound, though. Up and under with the reverse. That's good, J.J. Davey. And the Flyers with their first field goal of the second quarter. Howe peels off a couple of double screens, gives to Crane. Crane back to Howe. Howe drives into a whistle and a foul. And, yes, whistle and a foul. So that's going to go against Ashton of the Flyers. His fourth team foul for Dixie. So next whistle against the Flyers will result in 2 free throws for Bountiful. Crane triggering the inbounds. Out to Hewlett. Back to Crane. And a Howe. And over to Heath. And the Redhawks set up. Now to Smith. Finds Crane wide open in the corner for the open three, and he buries it. Wyatt Crane as a defensive breakdown there on the part of the Flyers. Carter bobbing and weaving his way into the paint, clears to Christian, now to Walter. Back to Christian, over to Ashton, now to Davey. Davey peels off the screen and a whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Crane. It's going to be, I believe that's his second personal, second team foul for Bountiful, as Mac Howard, the sophomore, checking in for Elijah Christian. And a whistle and a timeout by the officials. Not sure what's going on, but he's giving instructions to the Bountiful bench. Oh, a late sub, it looks like. Okay. So Bentley Moore, number 33 for the Redhawks, checking in for Crane. And the Flyers with a full shot clock after the foul. As Carter clears to Ashton. Now we're to Davey. Back to Carter. Carter steps into a three. No good. Walter high for the rebound. A whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Bountiful. On the box out is Walter jumped up. The Bountiful defender in the box out process kind of cleared him a little bit. So the Flyers with a fresh shot clock and a substitution by the Redhawks as number 4 checking in. Try to get his name at halftime. Oh, Carter lobs into Walter. Walter over the top to Davey for the easy 2. No, it might have been blocked or deflected. Either way, rebound fought for. Walter on the floor. Number 4 on the floor and a jump ball called. Even though there was no possession, again, that's a judgment by the official within his right to do so, just so nobody gets hurt. And possession goes to the Redhawks. So good call there by the official. Like that, don't want guys diving on each other or rolling around the floor getting hurt. So 65 seconds left to play here in the first half as Smith shovels over to number 4. Now quickly in the 31 to Smith. Lincoln Smith out to Charles Smith. Long three, no good. Ashton for the rebound. And he clears for the Flyers to Carter. And again, extending the pressure, Bountiful. Howard, corner 3, no good. Rebound, Davey. A whistle and a foul, and that'll be the 4th foul against Bountiful. So the Flyers with a fresh shot clock. That goes against Heath. Second personal foul. 4th team foul. So Heath will come out as Luke Smith checks in. Looking over the Bountiful roster, I think there's 5 Smiths on this team. So trying to keep them in check has been a little tricky as Davey gets the inbounds. Euro steps, tries to clear out. Ashton saves it. Now to Howard. Howard over to Ashton. Ashton underneath. Walter. Back out to Ashton. Ashton with the deep 3. That's good. Ammon Ashton. And the Redhawks will play for the final shot as they lead by 13, and all the momentum as this second quarter has not gone in the favor for the Flyers. Smith with the ball. Drives into the paint, uncontested, shovels it up, knocked away, last touch by the Flyers. The official just blew his whistle and said something, couldn't hear it, but ball remains with Bountiful. Half second left in the half. So it's got to be a catch tip type shot. Ball's knocked away. That's going to be it for the end of the first half of play. And the Flyers find themselves in a hole down 13 here at the end of the first half in game number 3, day number 3 of the Coach Walker Classic. They trail 33-20. We'll take a couple minutes timeout and be back with a halftime. If we can get some stats, we'll review those a little bit and preview the second half as well. Don't go anywhere, folks. Back after this. And welcome back, folks, to the 2024 Coach Walker Classic on FLYFAM.tv. I'm Ryan Forsey. Thanks so much for joining us for our live streaming presentation of Dixie Flyer basketball. And the Flyers not playing their best basketball, especially in that second quarter, as they have dug themselves a hole, trailing 20-33. And again, give credit all to the Bountiful Redhawks. They have been tenacious and physical on both sides of the floor and really just enacted their will on this Flyer team. And the Flyers really struggling just holding onto the ball, just a number of turnovers, especially in that second quarter. And again, for the Flyers, down probably 1.5 players. Kimball Carter went down early in that first quarter and came up hobbling. He is playing through it, but you can tell he just doesn't quite have the explosiveness and quickness that he usually has, so he's playing through it. And then you have Tyson Forsey, the starting shooting guard, who is out and has been out all this week with a high ankle sprain. I was told that he was going to actually try and play, and I'm assuming the coaches at the last minute decided to hold him out. And so he is on the bench. That's why I say 1.5, because I don't think Kimball Carter's quite to full strength. But let's take a look at the first half numbers first for the Bountiful Redhawks. Again, Redhawks being led by Bryson Heath, the starting point guard. Heath with 8 points in the first half. And I'm able to get number 4's last name at least. Geilman is his name. He came in off the bench and really had a good first half as Howe sat down with a couple of fouls. And he was able to come up with 7 points. And then you've got Davey Howe with 6 points. Wyatt Crane with 7 points. One of the Smiths, that's Lincoln Smith, with 5 points. And that takes you to the total of 33 points for the Redhawks. And again, they want to attack. They're physical. They're undersized. The Flyers have the size and length advantage, so this Bountiful team has to play with that kind of tenacity to make up the difference, and they have. They're absolutely doing so, especially after what in their minds a disappointing loss last night to Riverton. So a bounce back opportunity for this Bountiful team, and they're doing it so far in this first half of play. Now to the Flyers. Again, that second quarter really just a struggle as they only came away with 7 total points as a team. Leading the way, though, is Tyler Walter. He's got 5 points. 6 points. J.J. Davey with 5 points. Ashton also with 5 points. Kimball Carter with a bucket. And Colin Simmons with a bucket as well. But again, that second quarter, the turnover problem just plagued the Flyers, only scoring 7 points in that second quarter of play to 16 points for the Bountiful Redhawks. So that's where we find ourselves here for the first half of play. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout and talk about the second half and a little bit about this Bountiful team and some connections that myself personally has with this Bountiful Redhawk team. We'll be back after this on FLYFAM.tv. And welcome back to the Coach Walker Classic 2024 version here on FLYFAM TV, Day 3, Game number 3. I'm Ryan Forsey. Thanks so much for joining us for not the post-JJ. No, we're not in the Jimmy John's post-game show. We're in the Sky West halftime show. Apologies for that. Clicked the wrong button. Again, looking ahead to the second half of play, if you're Bountiful, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. Really, if anything, for the coaching staff and head coach Gus Sopena, you probably want to see your team knock down some threes. Only 2 threes in that entire first half. Probably shot at least 10 or 12. Third game in 3 days, it's tough. Legs are a little more tired than you expect. But otherwise, you keep up the intensity, keep up the urgency, and take advantage of what the Flyers are giving you. And if you're the Dixie Flyers, you don't want to keep giving them as many turnovers as they did in that second quarter. And that's really been the story. And again, part of that is the Flyers' fault, just missing basketballs, bad passes, bad decision-making, and part of it is the defense. So give credit to Bountiful. Now, just a quick matter of note, this is Gus Sopena in his second year of head coach as he took over for head coach Maxwell, longtime head coach at Bountiful, 30-plus years as a head coach. And Coach Sopena is a good friend of mine and actually a friend of the Dixie Flyers, as he went to school here at Southern Utah University and actually partially paid his way through school as a basketball official and spent some time reffing some high school games here and reffing for some of the Little League games that the Dixie Flyers sponsor in their flight basketball program, and now that's kind of combined with that and the Nets on Fire. So we're familiar with Coach Gus Sopena, and happy for him and this opportunity he has to take over a storied program in Bountiful, and wish him the best of luck. Just not today. Hopefully, this Dixie team can bounce back from that second quarter and first half and right the ship, so to speak. But again, it's going to be a tough task. This Bountiful team, replacing 4 senior starters from a team that made all the way to the Final Four of the 5A state playoffs last year. So it's going to be a formidable task for a Dixie team that doesn't have a lot of varsity experience. They've had some good success early on at 5-0, but missing one of their leading players and team captain, Tyson Forsey, is definitely affecting them on the offensive side of the execution. So that's going to do it here for the Sky West halftime show, and I previewed the Jimmy John's postgame show, so hopefully you stay with us for that afterwards. As Coach Roberts giving some final instructions to his team. So a change in the lineup, though, for the Flyers, as Colin Simmons will not start the second half. He started the first half. In his place is Ammon Ashton. So for the Flyers, and they'll start with the ball, you have Weber inbounding it, Carter, point guard, Davey at the 4, Walter at the 5, and Ammon Ashton at the 3. And again, same starting 5 for the Bountiful Redhawks. You have Heath, Howe, Smith, and Hewlett. So both 31 and 32. Smith, Lincoln Smith, and Charles Smith. And underneath to Walter. Walter gets it, whistle, but he's fouled going up. So again, the Flyers not going away from their offense as they're trying to attack that interior defense. The Flyers with the height and length advantage. And Walter was able to get the ball and go up strong and draw contact, so he'll go to the line shooting 2. Walter already with a couple free throws under his belt for this game, and he remains perfect at the line. And he goes 2 for 2. So the Flyers already on the right foot as they've started off with a couple buckets on the free throw line as Smith misses the free throw. Walter skies for the rebound. Walter went in there with some authority for that rebound. And maybe Coach Roberts lit some fire underneath this Dixie Flyer team as Weber, the 15-foot jump shot. And a quick 4-0 run to start the quarter. Heath drives baseline, little floater, short, air ball there right to Walter, and he clears to Carter. Over to Weber. Weber gets a screen from Walter. And clear back to Zed. Weber with the deep 3. No good. Rebound Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Flyers. Weber put one of those deep threes in on day number 1 of this tournament. That one just rimmed out. That would have been huge for this Dixie team had that gone in. Again, Bountiful, though, coming away with it, setting up their half-court offense. Heath to Hewlett as they scissor off. Hewlett, no look past the corner. Heath for 3, no good. A rebound to Carter. And again, if anything this Bountiful team has not been successful at today is making their three-point shots. As Carter drives and gives to Ashton. Ashton's going to drive into the paint. Clears to Weber. Weber now back to Davey. The Flyers patiently trying to get the ball inside. Ashton, 10 seconds on the shot clock. A whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Charles Smith. That's going to be his third as he had Walter wrapped up. Easy call for the official. So number 4, Geilman checking in, replaces Smith. And Carter all the way into the paint. Lobs over to Davey for the little alley-oop layup. Beautiful play. Carter to Davey. And the Flyers on a 6-0 run to start the second half. They've trimmed the lead. Geilman out to Hewlett. Hewlett for 3. That's good. Oh, excuse me, Lincoln Smith. Smith is 31. Hewlett is 11. So again, the first field goal for this Red Hawk team as the lead back up to 10. Carter to Weber as the Flyers almost look like a picket fence play. Carter with the little crossover, the 18-foot jump shot, no good. Air ball off the backboard, and the Red Hawks come away with it. Heath with a deep 3, looking for 2 in a row, no good. Rebound fought for, and Davey comes down with it as Carter again hits the floor and is slow to get up. Weber gets across the timeline, steps into a long 3, too hard. Rebound, right to the Red Hawks, a whistle and a foul, and that's going to go against Carter, and Coach Roberts can't believe himself, wanting the jump ball. So that's Carter's first team foul for the Flyers as Simmons checks in for Tyler Walter and the Flyers. So in the Flyers starting off with some momentum, but Bountiful holding strong, keeping the lead at double digits. Hewlett to Smith. And a whistle, an offensive foul. That's going to go against Lincoln Smith as he threw Carter to the floor. So that's his second personal, third team foul. And Bountiful showing that they're back into his own defense. The Flyers respond. Their half-court offense. Carter. And patiently looks underneath. They find Simmons. Simmons clears to Ashton in the corner. He drives baseline, tries to shovel it to Simmons, who'd left the spot. A whistle and a foul. That called on Simmons. That's his second team foul. So again, turnovers coming back to haunt the Flyers as a whistle. Not sure what the whistle was for. We play on though. Geilman looking for a back cut. He's going to drive, gets into the paint, lowers his shoulder, throws it up, and a whistle and a foul. Smart, tough play there by Geilman as he was able to get an angle and attack and drew the contact. And that's against Zed Weber, his third, and the third team foul. So Geilman will go to the line shooting 2. As he makes the first. And again, this Red Hawks team, you can see them on the screen, an interesting tradition as they cross their legs for the free throw, and no good, and last touch by the Red Hawks, so Flyer ball. Fun little tradition that they're doing over there. halfway through this third quarter of play, and the Flyers still trailing by 11. They're a little bit better, though, that's for sure. I haven't had as many turnovers as they did in that second quarter, but third quarter's not over yet. Weber pump fakes a deep three underneath to Davey. Reverse pivot up for the layup. Beautiful play as Weber was able to find an angle to attack the zone defense and give the ball to Davey, who put it up and in. Heath working his way into the paint. Cut off by Carter. Now he clears to Howe. Howe as the Flyers switch. Now to Hewlett. Back to Howe. Corner three. Yep. Down, out, and back in. Davey Howe for three. So again, if this Bountiful team catches fire from the perimeter, it could be a difficult day for this Flyer team as they're trying to attack this zone defense. Underneath, quickly, touch pass from Davey to Simmons. Works beautifully as Colin Simmons puts it up and in, and back the lead back to 10 for this Bountiful team. Again, they've already made a couple threes here in this quarter. The first half, all they made was 2 threes. As Howe dribbles it out of bounds. Turnover on this time down the floor for the Red Hawks. Oh, Dixie hoping to take advantage, but a whistle and a timeout called by Bountiful, I believe. 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it here. So again, I touched on this prior to the game, but last night's game for this Bountiful Red Hawk team in Riverton had a little bit of drama leading up to it. And what happened was Bountiful was the designated visiting team and showed up to the game in their home white jerseys. Riverton, designated home team, also showed up in their white jerseys. So as a result, Bountiful started off the game penalized because of it with technical fouls. I don't know the details of how many or whatnot. And Bountiful had to scramble to find anything. I don't know if they use practice jerseys, if they use, if like a parent ran back to their hotel, wherever they're staying, to get, the red jerseys. I saw some of the game film. They were wearing red tops with white shorts. It could have been practice jerseys for all I know. I don't know. But the game was a little bit delayed in starting because of that, and you could tell that it played an effect for that game. And Riverton came away with a 10-point win. So, I think in the minds of this Bountiful staff and team, they came in today with a little bit more urgency after that game last night. And it showed so far as Bountiful dropping back into that zone defense, and it works as Dixie throws it out of bounds, trying to work an overload play. So substitution for the Red Hawks as Crane enters the game, replacing Bryson Heath. Crane had a solid first half off the bench. Coach Cepena for the Red Hawks shouting instructions as Crane hands to Heath. Heath now clears to Smith, and that's good. Lincoln Smith for three. Nice execution on that offensive possession. They lead back up to 13 points. The Flyers got it down to 10 a couple of times, but have yet to get it within single digits. Ashton wants a three, too long. A rebound right to Crane. Here come the Red Hawks. Hewlett hands to Howe. Howe trying to get the ball underneath. They've got a mismatch. Geilman and Carter. Geilman pump fakes, muscles it up and in. Carter couldn't do anything, just hold his ground and put his hands up, and Geilman just went up and over. Heads up play there by the Red Hawks. A 15-point lead. This matching the largest lead of the game for this Bountiful team. And this zone defense has presented some problems for the Dixie Flyers. Weber. Davey, the free throw line. He clears to Carter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Underneath to Simmons. Carter. Back to Simmons. 5 seconds. Weber. Weber's going to have to hoist it up for a prayer. No good. And the shot clock expires, but Bountiful comes down with the rebound before the buzzer. Here come the Red Hawks. Geilman. Clears over to Hewlett. Hewlett, the corner three. That's good. And if you're Coach Cepena, this is what you want to see, as your squad struggled in the first half hitting threes, but now they are back, and that's the fifth three of this second half, and an 18-point lead as Carter steps into a deep three. No good. Missed poorly, but a rebound right to Ashton. He clears to Simmons, and the Flyers reset. So about a 3.5 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The Flyers will try to wind it down. Again, this zone defense. Weber, nifty crossover, loses the ball though, right to Crane. Now it's taken away. Weber comes up with it, puts it up, rolls around and falls out, but he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. So Weber makes the first, and let's see, substitution as Walter comes back in replacing Simmons. And Mac Howard about to check in, I'm assuming, for Weber on the made free throw, which he does. So Weber will step out, and Mac Howard in. So 11.1 seconds left in the third quarter. Bountiful with the final possession, and then they'll start the fourth quarter with possession. So that's the second time that this has happened. As Smith quickly down the floor, gets a screen, looking for a cutter, gets to Crane. Crane underneath to Geilman again on the mismatch. Turnaround shot, up, around, and in. Beautifully executed play as the Flyers defense is switching, and Bountiful found the mismatch and extending their lead 50-32 and matching the largest lead of the game at 18 points. So that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a minute timeout and be back with the fourth quarter of play here from the Coach Walker Classic at Pineview High School. And welcome back to the fourth quarter of play here at the Pit at Pineview and the 2024 Coach Walker Classic. Flyers got a hole to dig themselves out of, trailing 18 points as they cleaned up a little bit the turnover issue they had in the second quarter. But as they were doing that, Bountiful caught fire from the three-point line, netting 4 threes in that third quarter of play, where they'd only made 2 in the entire first half. So Coach Sopania and his staff pleased with that offensive effort and also the defense, because it has kept the Flyers from doing almost everything. Bountiful starts with the ball. Guyman again trying to get in the post. Blocked by Walter, but Guyman able to knock it away. Gets it back. Pump fake. Blocked by Walter again. Guyman gets it back. Puts it up with the right hand. No good. Walter gets a rebound. An outstanding back and forth there. Walter and Guyman just going at each other. Long pass by Carter. Well outside the reach of Mac Howard. Oh, a turnover again on the part of the Flyers. As Howe will check out for the Redhawks, and Luke Smith, number 0, checking in for Bountiful. Smith hands to Crane. Crane driving all the way in, but a whistle and a foul before the shot, and that's going to go against 0. That's going to go against Luke Smith. So whether it was a moving screen or something, I'm not sure. So unforced turnover there on the part of the Redhawks. His first team foul for Bountiful. Here comes Kimball Carter. Again, Bountiful in a 3-2 zone, maybe a little bit of a matchup zone, and Dixie really struggling to get anything going against it. Trying to attack the interior, but they've been struggling to do that, struggling to get anything going from the perimeter either, as Walter goes along the baseline, up and in with the reverse layup. Count it, he's fouled. If there's been a bright spot for this Flyer team, it has definitely been Tyler Walter, now into double digits and the leading scorer for this Dixie team. This will be the third time Walter has an opportunity to make a three-point play. So as J.J. Davey returns to the Flyers, and Hewlett will have a seat for the Red Hawks. Walter misses it, but Davey chases down the offensive rebound. Clears to Walter, back to Carter, now to Weber. Weber drives into the paint. Throw it up with the right hand wildly. No good. Right down to Geilman. Here come the Red Hawks. Over to Smith. And a whistle and a foul on Kimball Carter. As Carter tried to grab the ball, and a whistle, and that's going to be Carter's second personal foul, second team foul on the part of the Flyers. So fresh shot clock for Bountiful. And that's Crane looking to trigger it in. And he finds Lincoln Smith, who clears to Charles Smith for the three. No good, but rebound to Luke Smith. And a whistle and another foul. That one's going to go against Tyler Walter. His second personal, third team foul. So as I said, I think there's about 5 Smiths on this Bountiful team. So trying to keep track of their first names is a little tricky. Timeout, though, on the floor. That's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Just over 6.5 minutes left to play. So towards the end of this game, we'll take a brief break and then be back with a little bit of the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. Talk about this game a little bit. And then preview what's coming up next week as the Flyers travel to Utah County for the annual All-State Skyridge Falcon Classic. So the Flyers have participated in that tournament the last 4 or 5 years. And the fun thing about that tournament is it's an actual varsity tournament where you can win a championship. You win, you keep playing, or you lose, you go to the loser bracket. Whereas the Walker tournament is more of a showcase. You just play 3 games. It's not a bracketed play. So it's a little added incentive for that Skyridge tournament. Dixie actually winning it last year against Crimson in the championship game. So opportunity for the Flyers to defend that title. As Bountiful comes out, Dixie in a man defense, a little bit more aggressive. Crane just drives right around Davey. Walter challenged it, no good. Rebound tipped around, fought for, and controlled by the Red Hawks as Guyman goes down. Now quickly clears to Smith. Smith drives into the paint, and an illegal screen. Yeah, that's a no. That's an easy call for the official. So as Smith drove to the lane, Luke Smith, number 0, basically football blocked J.J. Davey, an illegal screen. Coach Sapani does not agree with it, but it's the right call. As Smith cleared out J.J. Davey from behind. And again, another technical foul, another whistle and a technical foul called on Sopania. And again, Coach Sopania not agreeing with the call. And I don't, from my vantage point, I thought it was an easy call, because if you saw Geilman come across the paint and initiate the contact right in the back of J.J. Davey as Smith drove to the layup. So I thought it was the right call. So Weber stepping the line, shooting 2 for the technical foul. He makes the first, misses the second. So Dixie maintains possession. They trail by 15 here. You'd have to get something going on to make up this deficit. And where the officials are signaling, reset the shot clock. So a full shot clock. Okay. So again, Bountiful into this zone defense. And the Flyers really struggling against it. Again, trying to attack the interior, and they get it to Davey. Davey able to control, goes up, under, pump fakes, clears out to Howard. Howard for 3. No good. Rebound. Walter comes down with it, puts it up, no good. Davey tips it up. A whistle and a foul as Davey crashes to the floor. That's going to go against Charles Smith. So that's the 4th team foul for Bountiful, I believe. Or no, correction, that's the 5th team foul and the 4th personal foul. So every whistle against Bountiful, the Flyers will go to the free throw line shooting 2 as Davey steps in. and misses it. 3 games in 3 days takes its effect on these young men. A couple substitutions for Bountiful as Heath returns and Hewlett returns. Number 11, Cole Hewitt. Number 1, Bryson Heath. So Davey shooting the second of 2. And misses that one as well. The Flyers turnovers and struggling from the free throw line. Kind of been a theme today. Heath trying to drive around Carter. Clears to Hewlett. And the Redhawks kind of running a weave motion type offense as Howard hounding Hewlett. Now to Geilman. Geilman turns. He's going to drive on Walter. Pump fakes. Up and in with the left hand. Beautiful move. Geilman having an outstanding day coming off the bench. Really playing well offensively and defensively as well for this Bountiful team. Davey clears to Weber. Weber thought about the 3, drives into the paint. A whistle, and this is going to be a jump ball, I believe. Yes, a jump ball. So possession to the Flyers as Weber is trying to get something going offensive, and he struggled. He's been hounded by this physical defense as Luke Smith checks out, and number 24, Willis, checks in for Bountiful. So Carter inbounds to Howard. Howard spins out of a double team, a whistle and a foul. Now Howard will shoot 2 from the free throw line. That's going to go against Heath. So that's Heath's 3rd foul. So Howard, just a sophomore, getting some valuable playing time and experience, makes the first. Mac Howard, the son of one of the assistant coaches for the Flyers, Chris Howard. And Howard goes 2 for 2. So again, this Dixie Flyer defense has got to step up, and it's not just defensive, but rebounding as well, as Heath shouting instructions. A quick backdoor pass, give and go, beautifully done. As Hewlett threw a bounce pass, threading the needle to Heath for the easy layup. Outstanding play there by Bountiful. And now as they drop back into the zone defense, and the Flyers trying to go with the long alley-oop play over to Walter, who got it but missed the dunk. That would have been some excitement. Walter just couldn't quite get the handle on the pass to throw it down. And the long rebound goes to the Redhawks. So Willis clears to Geilman. Geilman drives on Davey. Pump fakes, lowers his shoulder, offensive foul. Second offensive foul on Geilman. Again, he's a physical, strong kid. And honestly, played very well today. That time, though, just a little too aggressive as Davey held his ground. So Howe checking in for the Redhawks, replacing Crane. So halfway through this 4th quarter, and the Flyers are going to have to catch fire and get some stops here quickly if they want to cut into this deficit. Davey out to Carter. Carter for 3. That's good. Kimball Carter. That's only the second 3 of this entire game for the Flyers. Carter has 1 and Ashton has the other. Well, the zone defense doing its job as the ball knocked away but picked up by Willis. Flyers a little bit of a soft full court press. They've trimmed the lead now to 14. Davey on Hewlett. Back to Heath, picked up by Weber. And a timeout called by head coach Sopena for Bountiful and letting his players know they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And full timeout, not sure. Looks like a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here. So 11 seconds on the shot clock for the Redhawks to drop something and execute it. And leading by 14. And for the Flyers, you just got to play strong defense and rebound. And there's been a number of times this second half where they've done that, but they haven't been able to hold on to the rebound or get the rebound. And this Bountiful team, a little undersized, and they play hard, they play tough, and playing with some urgency and intensity today. They're a good, solid team. And for this Dixie squad, valuable experience for Coach Roberts and these young men. Again, only one returning, getting some valuable experience. And they've had some good wins already. Again, coming into this game 5-0. And this game's not over, but they've got to make a move here quick. Otherwise, it's going to be their first loss on the season. So, again, Bountiful basketball. They'll inbound on the far sideline. 11 seconds on the shot clock. So, inbound to Smith. Smith going to step quickly, look for cutters, gets it to Heath, tries to pump fake, goes up, puts it up, a whistle and a foul as Davey smacked him across the head. That's the right call, yeah. Davey, I don't think Davey was out of position necessarily, but his hands were up late and caught Heath across the face. It's just something you don't want to do. You put a team into that deep into a shot clock, you don't want to bail them out like that. Heath misses the free throw. Again, this is all learning experience for this Dixie team. So Heath makes the second, so lead back up to 15. Quickly up the floor, Weber. Again, this Bountiful team dropping back into kind of this matchup zone. To Carter. Howard. Carter's going to drive. Clears to Howard. Back out to Weber. Weber from the parking lot. No good. Weber scoreless from the three-point line today. Bountiful defense has done its job against him. As Smith clears to Howe. Howe now over in the corner, and Heath resets. Heath looking for a cutter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hands to Hewlett. Hewlett hands to Geilman. Geilman been the workhorse. Up and under with the under scoop. No good. Weber with the rebound. And Geilman almost with the turnover. Quickly to Carter. Carter steps into a deep three. That's good. Kimball Carter. Lead down to 12. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Flyer put on a full court press of the ball all the way down underneath the hoop. Geilman easy two as the rotation was a little slow for the Flyers. Carter into the paint. Back out to Weber. Weber, deep three. That's good. Weber with his first three, and a timeout called by Coach Roberts as the lead now down to 11. And that's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take the timeout as well. Back after this on FlyFam.tv. And welcome back to FlyFam.tv, our live stream of Dixie Flyer boys basketball. I'm Brian Forsey. Minute 39 left to play. The Flyers have trimmed the lead to 11, is trying to get a trap, and Bountiful quickly breaks it and gets it up into the front court as Howe sets up the offense. And the Red Hawks are going to want to use some clock, but try to execute to get a couple points as well, as Walter extending the pressure to Heath. Heath looking to take advantage of the mismatch, a whistle, and that will stop the clock. And that'll be Walter's third personal, fourth team foul for the Flyers. So lob over the top. Walter almost came away with it, and Geilman comes up with it, puts it up and in as Walter fell to the floor. Heads-up play as Walter was face guarding him, just lobbed it over the top. Carter over to Weber. Weber trying to get something quickly underneath. Tried to get it to Walter, but it's kicked out of bounds by the Red Hawk defense. 61 seconds left to play. And again, after this game, I invite you to stick around for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. Howard from the top of the key, wide open. That's good for 3, and a timeout called by Coach Roberts. Again, this Flyer team not quitting. 57.8 left, and the lead down to 10. So it's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. So once this game's completed, we'll take probably about a 60-second timeout. Hopefully I can get some stats. If not, then it will truly be a Jimmy John's Freaky Fast postgame show. Hopefully we'll go over some of the unofficial numbers, actually the official numbers, because I'll be getting it from the book. And we'll talk a little bit about the All-State Skyridge Falcon Classic next week, where the Flyers will be traveling up to Utah County and participating once again in that tournament. And they come into that tournament as the defending champions. They won last year against Crimson. So the Flyers, full court press, trying to get the ball, and got the trap, just couldn't quite get the ball as Bountiful breaks the press and clears half court. Smith comes up with the ball as Geilman, and a whistle and a foul as Coach Roberts wanting an offensive foul, and to his point, he could have, as there was contact made by the Red Hawks in the process. I wouldn't say it was a screen, but it was definitely trying to block the defender. It could have been an offensive foul, but the official calling the foul against Mac Howard, his first, as Heath steps to the line and makes the first free throw. And the Red Hawks will clear the paint as Heath will look to shoot 2. And makes it. So 12-point lead here for the Red Hawks. Quickly, Carter drives into the paint, looking for a shooter. Howard thought about it. Now he drives in the paint. Tried to get it to Weber. Almost went out of bounds. Weber saves it, but now he's stuck in the corner. And a timeout called by Coach Roberts. So as again, the result is probably set. But Coach Roberts, not quitting by any means, but wanting to coach this team, wanting to get this team to learn to execute, to play through some of the adversity. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. But again, you're down 12 points, 30 seconds left. That's tough to overcome, unless you've got Reggie Smith. He plays for the Indiana Pacers. And again, for the Flyers, really just fell behind in that second quarter. Too many turnovers really kind of did them in, and the Red Hawks took advantage of them. And second half, I would say the Flyers have improved with the turnover issue, but the difference in the second half, Bountiful hit threes, where in the first half they only made 2. The second half, I have them down for 5. So that's a big change. And in this Bountiful team plays hard, they're physical, and they've played with some urgency and intensity as Weber from the volleyball line, too hard. Davey chases down the rebound, back out to Carter. He'll hoist up a 3. That's good. And the Flyers all out of timeout, so 52-61, and a ball deflected and knocked away, and last touched or a whistle. I'm not sure what happened. The officials are explaining things to Coach Roberts. So Bountiful maintains possession. Okay, I'm not sure what the explanation was or what happened. I thought it was Bountiful ball, so it is. And Geilman going deep all the way down to Heath. Heath will probably, the Red Hawks look to dribble it out and just play keep away from this Flyer team. as the Flyers trying to come away with something. And Bountiful doing a really good job of just keeping away, and that'll be it as they work the clock. So this Bountiful team bounces back from a tough loss last night to Riverton, and this Flyer team definitely not giving their best performance, but nonetheless competed. So your final score, 61 for Bountiful, 52 for the Dixie Flyers. We're going to go ahead and take, let's go with the 60-second timeout, and we'll be back with the Jimmy John's postgame show. Have some stats for you and preview the Falcon Classic next week for this Dixie Flyer team. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. And welcome back. Ryan Forsey here with you at Pineview High in the pit for the 2024 Coach Walker Classic. Thanks so much for joining us for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show, and it will be probably pretty freaky fast, as still working on stats down there, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those in time. But again, just a brief recap. Dixie competed and kept things within reach through the first quarter. That second quarter really did them in for the Flyers, as turnovers and again, give credit to the Bountiful defense, as the Flyers just never could get anything going offensively in rhythm, and just turnover after turnover. I think there was at one point where it was four or five straight offensive possessions that resulted in a turnover. A couple of those unforced, a couple of those because Bountiful defense. And again, I think the Flyers cleaned that up a little bit in the second half, but Bountiful really caught fire from the perimeter. And that was the difference when they extended their lead in unofficially tallying 5 threes in that second half compared to only 2 in the entire first half. So that really was a difference. And Dixie, again, only had 2 threes of their own up until the last maybe minute of that fourth quarter. Flyers down. One of their shooting guard, senior guard, Tyson Forsey, definitely played a factor from the perimeter. But again, this Bountiful defense kind of just sat in that zone for most, if not all, of the entire second half, and the Flyers just didn't have an answer for it. So again, Coach Roberts and his staff will look at this film and get back to work on Monday as they are getting ready for the 2024 All-State Skyridge Falcon Classic. That takes place up at Skyridge High School in the Lehigh, American Fork area. This will be the 5th or 6th year that the Flyers have gone up there, last year winning the championship against Crimson. And it is a bracket tournament. So it's you win, you keep playing through the winners tournament, the winner's side, you lose, you go to the losers bracket. And the first game for the Flyers is slated against the Westlake Thunder. And right now the time is set for 4:50 p.m. There may be some adjustment to that, but that is what time it's scheduled to play. We will be live streaming that game. So come back here to FLYFAM TV, whether it's through our website or the YouTube channel. But we'll have that game for you live streamed against the Westlake Thunder. And we've seen the Thunder here. They've played played in this Walker Classic, and a very, very good team. They returned 3-4 starters from last year's squad. Big physical team, and it's going to be a tough game for this Dixie Flyer team. They're going to have to bounce back and find some answers to some of the issues they've had today if they're going to take that opening game win against the Thunder of Westlake. So again, that's Thursday the 12th. 4:50 p.m., and that'll be from Skyridge High School. Then win or lose, the Flyers will play Friday and Saturday, but the times have yet to be determined. Because again, it's if you win, you're going to play at a time. If you lose, you're going to play at a time. So, and if they win or lose, they will play either Harriman, 6A Harriman, which #1 team in the state currently, or Farmington. Farmington also 6A school. So either team, will have to face the Flyers if Dixie can come away with a win or if they fall to the Westlake Thunder. So again, that's coming up next week. So hope you join us. If you can't be there in person, go ahead and check it out on flyfam.tv. So that's going to do it for us here from the pit as we wrap up day number 3 of the Coach Walker Classic. Again, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Ryan Forsey. Hope to see you next week as we head up north to the Skyridge Classic. But for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.